Okay, one last video, I guess, because it just occurred to me. Well, there's not a lot of planes taking off at this second. This is the Pacific Northwest, known for its wildlife because of its rain and its great weather. It's trees and habitat. It's the summertime. Where are the birds? I mean, I can vaguely hear one or two. I grew up in this town, and right through the 80s and into the 90s even, when you'd go out in a place like this, in the summertime, you hear massive amounts of tweeting and tooting and whistling. It's just really quiet. Although now that I get a little farther inward, I hear a few more birds. But, I shouldn't hear a couple birds. I mean, this is a rather large little wooded area. You just hear a lot of birds. No, you don't. Because the things they eat are no longer here, like snails and slugs and salamanders. Those kind of things, they're just basically gone. So all the birds that would eat them are gone. The seagulls have moved away, replaced with crows and pigeons. There's always been some crows here, but there's a gazillion crows now. And ravens as well, which weren't really around. I see ravens as well. And there's a difference. And there's a great video on what the difference is. If you search for it, you'll find it. Seek and ye shall find. Phew. I smell freaking sulfur. God, it's making me feel ill almost. It smells like somebody lit like 100 freaking cases of matches and the sulfur smoke is blowing around or something. Okay, maybe not 100 cases. It smells like sulfur though. It should be noisy. It was a nice day. Very little chemtrail at all in the cloud layers. After 5 nice days. But the reason it's quiet is because those birds just aren't here anymore. They don't live here. The ecosystem in the Pacific Northwest is dying. And nobody cares. Where are the spotted owl people? Big fucking rigmarole in the 80s about the spotted owl. We gotta protect the endangered habitat from loggers. And they were concerned about the welfare of the spotted owl, supposedly, right? You go into the forests now, and it's silent. You can go in the national forest, it's just like this. Nothing but the sound of the wind rustling some leaves, a jet flying overhead, and that's all. Because all the animals are gone. Except for some of the deer and elk and larger animals that are still around, but they're not in their numbers. The New World Order doesn't want you to have a clean water supply of your own. They don't want you to have a clean food supply. They don't want you to have access to any of those things as well. And they've got everybody believing what the television news tells them or what any official government report says. So what's to stop them from putting their fluoridated water lines in through your whole city, building underground tunnels that can divert all of your rivers and streams to the larger ones, going out and covertly poisoning the deer, elk, bear populations so that the numbers just drop to almost nothing, so there's no food in case you wanted to try and escape into the woods. That is if you can get out of the 5G Wi-Fi grid, because the chemtrails are so much in our bodies now that we're highly electrically reactive. And if you've ever put aluminum in a microwave, it sparks and burns. So we're filled with that shit. All they gotta do is turn up the microwave beam and point it at us, and we turn into a briquette. Or lesser variations of that. We get scrambled. And, it's not rocket science, people. This isn't some high-tech, super hard to understand, evil plan. It's a very in-your-face, obvious evil plan, and yeah, the implementation of the hardware